Hello. Today we're going to start working on our classic Mickey project. And first thing you're going to do is look on the internet and find you a classic Mickey. That's what you should search, classic Mickey, and find an image that speaks to you. I found this one. I originally thought about doing the Steamboat Willie, but I saw this one and I thought this one was a little more simple, and I thought maybe that should be the route we go. So the point of this project is to focus on the lines. So looking at, now there are definitely shapes, but looking at the lines, notice how you can say this is a shape, and it is, but you could also argue the thickness of this line, the thickness of this line, and then it gets thinner, and different areas here that are addressed throughout the cartoon character here. So we're going to do our best. I might make mistakes, but that's okay. I'm going to walk you through how I would draw this one. So I sort of started it, and then I thought, hey, I need to make a video for you to kind of show you. So I'm going to put in what I already had, which was the start of the head, which is rounded. So I'm going to go for that. Before you dig into details, it's best to kind of get the bigger shapes in. Block those in so you know where you want those to go, and then go back in and put in the details. Because you could spend a lot of time on your details and then something's off and then you've wasted all that time. So I'm also looking as I'm doing this, and I've even changed it from the original that I had there, and this is all I had. But the spacing between these, if I'm looking at it here, the spacing right in here. So I'm going to come down from here. His little face kind of slopes a little bit out, and then his nose comes out, and I'm going to build the snout first. And I think I'm at too much of an angle. I don't think it angles that much. Give it the angle again. And I'm just going to kind of keep working it, not worry about erasing just yet anyways. And looking at him, this kind of goes up. This line here goes zoop. So I'm going to make that line go up here, and it's going to go up and through here, about right in here. Now he's got that shape right here. So I'll put that in. It's a little too beany, so I'm going to flatten that out a little bit. Kind of fatten it. We might need to tweak that in the end, but that'll get it started. Okay, then about in here, he's got his mouth. It might be easier to go from here. Come down where his mouth goes. I'm going to come in about like so. And then he also has another outline here. So I want to make sure I get that in there too. And I'll clean up these lines and thin them out. Just want to get the basic shape of him in first. Alright, so that's about his head. Let's see if I can get some more of this in here. So it comes about here where it starts to get big and it's curved. So when it curves like this, he's so good about having nice round curves. It's kind of like, be free to make those curves. Don't be afraid to make those curves. So that comes down like this, like so. He's got an eye that kind of comes off of the outside edge of him. And then, wow, I didn't make it do that. It just did that. How about that? And then right in here, they're really close. The eyes are really close, so I'm going to actually start it over here. So I have a feeling if I did it the other way, it would be too far over. And they're kind of narrow ovals. Now I'm going to look at this, and they're pretty much straight across. And now I've got mine at an angle, so I need to make this one just a little bit taller. And this one does not have anything of the nose. So coming back here, this even has like a thicker line. It's kind of like that. Take that out. So we're getting there. And then he's got a tongue in his mouth. So I'm going to come in, put his tongue in his mouth. Okay. And now we're ready for his body. I got to kind of shift so I can get his body in. So I'm going to move this. Don't know why it zoomed in, but that's okay. We'll go with it. So right here, his body starts actually right here, and it's going to slope down like this. So he's got a little his chest here, and it's going to curve around. And I'm looking, so it curves around here and it ends right about here. So I'm looking, if I go up, oh, you can't see that. So I'm looking at his body here, and if I go down and around and it curves up, right here ends, if I'm going straight up, right about almost the middle of the tongue. So that would be about here. So I need to, if I come back down, I need to know that about right there is where his little shorts are going to start, and they're rounded. So I want to be good with making the roundness of the shorts. Now if you have to turn your paper to make this work for you, turn your paper. Okay, so I'm going to kind of just finish it out, and then I will erase what's needed. But that helps get the proportion right. Right here, his arm continues to move up, or his body moves up to about here. Okay, so I'm looking, and if I'm going up here, so it's really close to this, which is right here. So I need to come about here maybe. Okay, if I'm thinking of it about right here. And about right here is where his arm is going to come down. So you're looking at the relationships of where things are. And I'm looking here, we're about maybe a 1/4 of an inch away from this spot here. So I'm going to come right here and start his arm. And it's going to come down and kind of curve right about like this. Now this might not go out so far, so I'm going to kind of tweak that a little bit. So as you draw, be okay with things having to redo. Don't expect everything to be perfect the first time you put it down. You have to kind of work it. Okay, so I'm going to go back here to the arm. I'm gonna do this little section here. So right here at the arm, he's got a little line, and it's an oval shape that comes, and that's where his leg's gonna go. I'm just gonna make the oval because I think it'll be easier. Finish it off there. And then here I can make his leg come out. I have a feeling I made him too big, and I always have a tendency to do that. Maybe not. Maybe he'll fit. Okay, so getting his foot in here. I'll do this so you can see how that works. So his foot is like an oval here. curve this around. It's got one big foot. It's going to come down. So I'm going to come around to this side. It curves around. Go around there. I'm trying to keep it in. Don't do that. You know, I went over, and I shouldn't. I went too far. I brought him down too much. So don't do that. If it goes off the page, go off the page. Don't let it. Don't try to squeeze it in, because then it's going to look bad. Okay, so then there's a curve here, curved line here to help create the definition of the shoe. Okay, see how I went off? That's not a good thing. Okay, so I'm going to come back over to this side, and there's not a lot of space here between the two, so it's probably, I'm giving it too much. And then it's going to curve around, come out through here. I'm going to come down. Now this foot, I'm looking at this foot, the top of this here hits about the top of this here. So here, it's going to be about here. So we're making that oval. And then this foot looks like those big old bulky slippers. Now that foot turned out okay. It's just that one went off the page. Alright, the last thing he needs is like his big buttons. And then I'm just going to fix this here. Okay, so I've got the basic shape of him. Let's see if I can zoom out. There we go. Voila. Okay, so is that as far as I can get? No, I think that's as far as I can get it to zoom out. But anyways, there's Mickey. But the thing for you though is don't go off the page. Like maybe start up higher. All right. Next time I will show you how to start adding your detail to him. Okay. Again, you don't have to do this one. I'm just showing you how to draw. Okay. But the next step would be to clean him up. All right. See you in the next one.